And we're back at the European World Championship Qualifier 2015 in Dublin, Ireland. I'm Rob Hootley, and joining me is Luke Withington.
Hey Rob, how's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad. Now, we're into round 3.
We are.
And what we're currently looking at is Marabissi, well, Alex Marabissi versus, I believe that's
Errikos Beck.
Errikos Beck. Alex here is running Qliphort, and Errikos is running Necros. So, pretty much one of the same matchups that we've already had today.
Yeah.
We're just having a look at the deck list now to see if there's anything interesting, anything that we might see that could be a little bit different from what we've already seen today.
Yeah.
So, looking at the Qliphort deck list, is there anything interesting that really stands out to you?
So this Qliphort player is not playing the new card Wavering Eyes. So whether that's just a personal choice of his, that's some big difference. But another one is he's playing Cephalopod.
He's playing Cephalopod.
Yeah. So very interesting card. It does, based on the amount of Qliphorts you have, it's some burn damage or something. I can't quite remember what it does, but we'll soon see when it's in play what it does.
Oh, interesting. So
it can be there to kind of finish your opponent off, which is always good.
Yep.
And as for the Qliphort deck, Necros deck list, we saw Eugen's deck list was very geared towards beating other Necros decks, while still Enrico's deck list is very much geared towards beating Necros with like shared rides and things like that. He's not necessarily running the kind of the strange banish cards that you have, the Great Sorcerer and the other one, the Exa one.
The Exa.
Yeah.
So he's not really going for more the North American build of the deck.
Yeah, just pretty standard.
Now, he's also running the 3 Firehand and High Sand now,
deck,
which
yeah.
Is an interesting choice for a side deck. Now,
Yeah.
the players are ready, so let's move
let's go
over to
straight
the
into it.
table. Errikos' name not quite fitting on the screen there.
So we have Errikos on the left, piloting the Necros deck, and Alessandro on the right, piloting the Qliphort deck.
That's
So it
correct.
looks like they're just getting prepared to...
They're just getting prepared. The judge will be
start the
coming over
match
to
now.
let them know that they can start. Here's the handshake, and they're ready to go. Now, they're both going to be drawing the hands, and with the help of Michael and Ryan there, we'll be able to see what's happening in the hand.
Yeah. So let's take some time to have a look at what they've got in their hands as we see these cards come in now.
So we'll start with Errikos.
So he's piloting the Necros deck. So we didn't get to see the dice roll, but Errikos is going to want to be going second just naturally as a Necros player.
Pick
So
up
you get
more
that extra
cards.
6th card. Yeah.
Okay, Alessandro seems to be going first, and we've got Errikos' hand, which is a Kaleidoscope, a Valkyros, a Denko Sekka, a Manju, and a DD Warrior Lady. Alessandro's hand is 2 Fiendish Chain, a Helix, a Pot Duality, and he's just played a Summoner's Art to go and get a Scout.
Yeah. So Scout, one of the core cards of the Qliphort deck, allows you to go and search for more of your Qli cards that will just kind of advance your hand and really shape it into that perfect hand that's going to be able to kind of stop your opponent for a little while and then get to that critical mass of monsters on the field and be able to take away all your opponent's life points all in one turn.
So would you say that it's better for Qliphort to be able to go first?
I think, yeah, in both of their minds, Alessandro wants to go first so that he can get his really powerful continuous trap cards out quite quickly, and Errikos wants to go second so that he has that extra card. Also, generally people believe there's a lot of Necros about, so when in the Necros mirror match, you will always want to go second just so you have more cards than your opponent.
Now,
start out.
he has added a Sacrifice there, and he's also got a Qliphort Stealth into hand with the Pot Duality.
Yeah. So Sacrifice, recently limited, is a very powerful card for Qliphort. It equips to a Qliphort monster, and when it's sent to the graveyard, it gets you another Qli card from your deck.
Plus
Also,
300 attack, and
plus
it
300.
can't be destroyed by battle. So yeah.
Exactly. So it just adds to that monster and kind of has something that kind of can just stick there and stabilize your field just for the first few turns in the game at least.
Alessandro's got a nice setup there with 2 Fiendish Chains. Let's see where it takes us. Errikos starts his turn with a Senju of the 1,000 Hands.
Yeah. So usually Fiendish Chain, you want to wait and interrupt their combo at quite a key time in case they have like Mystical Space Typhoon or something like that. But we see that he has 2 Fiendish Chains, so he can very just liberally throw away the Fiendish Chains not really throw it away in this situation, but you know it's quite risky just to play them if you only have one.
Yeah, that's correct. And he's, well, negated the search, basically. And I believe he's actually just ended his turn there.
Yeah.
Alessandro has drawn into his lose one turn as well. So he is looking in a very, very powerful position, as he has the ability to be able to bring out that stealth with effect.
Yeah. He's probably not going to want to use its effect, though, to bounce the Senju.
Oh,
because
you wouldn't want to give him another search. Although he does have the ability to stop it, because, again, lose one turn is going to stop any of his ritual cards from working, and the Fiendish Chain is going to stop the search.
Yeah, but I think I still wouldn't want to put it back in his hand, just because then you're going to have to waste your Fiendish Chain on negating something you already wasted with the Fiendish Chain. So you might as well just summon Stealth and then attack over the Senju, because there's no reason not to.
Well, what's he going to search for with Scout?
So I think he wants to try and complete his Pendulum Scale here, or he could possibly search for Disc and make some Disc play. So Disc is a 2-tribute clear monster.
And Carrier's now in hand.
Okay, so he's going to go for a Carrier. So we'll see where he goes with this Qliphort Carrier. So Carrier is one of the two kind of important ones. Carrier and Helix, they do different things. They deal with different problems. So Carrier allows you to bounce a monster back to your opponent's hand, and Helix will destroy one of their set spell trap cards.
Okay, so he's tributed there. Sacrifice has gone to the graveyard, so he's going to get another search. And I believe Helix is destroying the Fiendish Chain.
Yeah. At this point, why not destroy the Fiendish Chain? Actually, no. Did he bounce the Fiendish Chain? No, okay, he did destroy it.
That's a Helix that he's just tributed there.
Yeah. I thought he might have bounced it with Stealth. Cause,
it's very possible he's just bounced it with Stealth as well.
No, he did bounce Scout back to hand so that he can play that again and get another search.
And Fiendish Chain is currently in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Now he has a Monolith.
Yeah, so he's been able to use that Scout search again. Actually, he got that off Sacrifice. So here we go. He's going to be able to use that Scout search again, paying his 800 life points to be able to go and search a clear card from his deck. Now,
has he got the ability to really kind of push through enough damage to see game through very, very quickly?
He's got quite a lot of damage at this point in time, but I don't think he can't win in this turn because he doesn't have enough monsters. But he has a really good setup in the fact that he's going to have Scout in one Pendulum Zone and Monolith in the other.
And lose one turn.
Exactly, which caused a lot of issues for Eugen Knight earlier on today.
So he's going to have the Carrier, and he's going to have the Helix, both on full attack, very possibly very soon.
Yeah, and he's chose to search Recreate with Scout, with the second search the Scout has.
So just in case lose one turn goes away, Recreate is there just to back him up.
Yeah, exactly. So, very scary as a Necros player when you see a Qliphort player go ahead and set 3 spell or trap cards.
And he got to draw 1 card from the Monolith, and don't believe... and that was another Scab. Now, looking over at Errikos' hand, we've got a Kaleidoscope Valkyros, a Denko Sekka, which is going to be annoying, a Manju of the 10,000 Hands, a DD Warrior Lady, and a Reinforcements of the Army.
Yeah, so, just having a quick look over that, he will be able to make a play... Yeah, he'll be able to make a play if he can summon the Denko Sekka first, because he'll be able to use Reinforcements of the Army to go and get Shurit and summon the Valkyros that way, unless he does want to try and use the Manju. But
and down goes the Denko Sekka. Denko Sekka, the Cold Wave on legs.
Yep. So his opponent looks at his back rows and realizes that he can't do anything about it. So Denko Sekka says when this card is, when it's on the field, and you control no set cards, which currently Errikos doesn't.
And generally, you don't when you're running Necros as well.
Yeah, neither player can set cards on the field, and neither player can play the cards that are already set on the field. The spell and traps, that is. So we see Errikos furthering his hand here by playing Reinforcements of the Army into Shurit, and he's going to be able to summon the Valkyros using Shurit. Yeah, so he plays Kaleidoscope, tributing the Shurit, and then playing Valkyros. So Shurit allows you to go and search for a Warrior Necros monster. So there's quite a few of them, but the key ones that people use are Bryanak, Clausulus, and Trishula.
Bryanak, one of the most important cards in the deck, as it searches pretty much anything.
Yeah, it can just get you any of your Necros ritual monsters.
Now, also, I believe it was also hit with the Forbidden Limited list last time.
Yeah, so we went down to 2 Bryanaks, because it's a very powerful card. Very
Reinforcement of the army is now happening again, getting him a Clausulus. Clausulus going to the graveyard and searching again.
So let's have a look, see what he's going to get there. So it's probably going to be a Necros mirror, because then he can use that Brian Act to go and search for a Trishula.
Which I believe that's what he's done.
Yeah, and then he can play the Necros mirror, banishing the Chariot from the graveyard and summoning the Trishula, which is absolutely devastating.
So Alessandro was looking in a fantastic position, but then Denko Seka just came and messed up his day.
Yeah, now this is a really key point in this game. If we see the scout taken away from his hand, then this could absolutely just devastate here. Let's see what it is.
I thought he was doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo for a
Oh,
second.
yeah,
there.
so did I.
And he still has the scout in his
Still has
hand.
the scout.
He has
wow,
hit the carrier.
okay, that's unfortunate for him. But, oh, okay, yeah, that was just game right there, in fact.
Yeah.
Wow.
There,
Okay.
that was enough damage
Missed
to just
that.
go. Done.
Yeah.
There was nothing happening there.
Yeah.
There was just a massive amount of damage on the board. Big blue elephant wielding a big blue stick.
Yep, I completely didn't realize that he was really low on life points, but of course, the Qliphort deck paying a lot of life points to be able to play all of their scout plays.
Well, you know what they say, life points are just a resource. It's only a real problem when you have 0.
Yeah, exactly. only when you have none of them left do you
Yeah.
worry about using them up. Yeah,
Oh.
so yeah, that's in recent years that's very much been the thought and attitudes. When I first started playing this game, we used to keep a hold of our life points.
Yeah. If you could, you were gaining them.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
could do it. I mean, an upstart goblin thinking, oh, I'm giving my opponent with 1,000 life points. What's going to happen?
That's loads.
It was quite a few. I
That's a
mean,
whole
back when
Sangam.
Soul Charge was at 3,
Yeah.
that was a massive amount.
Yeah, because that's an entire monster that you get extra.
I mean, it was a point in when Snatch Steal, way back when, was legal. You were thinking, I'm giving my opponent plus 1,000 life points, and I could just use Change of Heart. Kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Generally, you wanted to get that off the field as swift as possible when you snatch steal your opponent's monster. You want to use it, get rid of it, and summon your
immediately,
Jinzo.
Definitely.
That's-
that was way back when.
that was way back when. So the side deck options here. So let's have a look at the two-player side deck options.
Okay, so we've got a Mystical Space Typhoon.
Yeah.
A lot of this is in Italian, so you'll have to bear with us.
Yeah, so in the Qliphort deck here. So
There's a Monarch Storm 4th.
Yep. It's all in Italian. Right. Okay. So let's talk about some of the cards that he's going to be putting in. I think one of the big things is that we were talking about when we had Eugen on earlier is that the Necros player will generally be putting in Royal Decrees, and most Qliphort players don't actually main deck any cards to deal with those Royal Decrees against the big amount of trap cards that they own. So they will put in things like Mystical Space Typhoon that stops the Necros player being able to play Royal Decree and just stop them from playing all of the trap cards.
Now, what are we looking at with Errikos?
The Necros player.
Yes.
So in this matchup, Fire and Ice Hand is actually reasonably okay to be able to use Ice Hand's effect to start destroying your opponent's pendulum scales.
And then obviously Firehand coming out, getting rid of something, and then they can't actually pendulum
Yep.
summon anything back. It's,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
quite a nice thing. It's a really nice loop. 3 Artifact Lanciers there.
Yes, just 2 Artifact Lanciers here. Yeah, and there's going to be no use for those in this matchup. The third
Denko
Denko Seka potentially is going to go in, and then I think also we'll see Errikos put in the 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. And so the thing with the Necros deck is a lot of them play for against the Necros matchup. So things like Book of Eclipse, not really necessary in this
No.
matchup unless you want to use it to dodge, lose 1 turn, or skill drain. Then it's kind of questionable to leave those cards in your deck.
You can also use Book of Eclipse to dodge the massive swingy turns that Qli can do.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want Qli to suddenly drop an entire board on you and then win when you can drop an Eclipse and just go turn them all face down.
Yeah. Generally, though, you want to try and not defend using that, because then they get to draw like 5 cards, which is
it's true, but
which is tough. But if you're going to die, then
with
playing Book of Eclipse, yeah.
Necros generally can make a massive turnaround with that as well.
Yeah.
Now, he is playing Torrential Tribute in his side deck. Now, it's a very, very interesting choice because you're going to be going Pendulum Summon and then you're going to go get rid of them all.
Yeah, that could prove to be really big in this matchup. Well, so we're going to have to see if we actually see that card coming out, because you're only allowed 1 copy of Torrential Tribute. So we're just looking at the starting hands here. Just reading the
Just
starting hands. So
loading in.
Michael and Ryan are just putting those starting hands in there.
Oh, wow. Alessandro has a Sacrifice, an Upstart Goblin, a Pot of Duality, so very, very searchy hand at the moment. Summoner's Art, even more search. And the last card is lose 1 turn.
Yeah, fantastic.
Errikos is going first. He's got a Valkyros, a Manju, an Ice Hand, so he predicted that correctly there. A Mystical Space Typhoon, and a Senju.
Yeah, so Errikos actually chose... Oh no, sorry, he chose to go... He didn't get to choose. Alessandro got to choose.
Yes.
So he forced the Necros player to go first. That's quite an interesting... That's quite interesting.
It's nice to basically make it so that they're not getting the extra card, I guess, because, as you said before, Necros likes to go first. Now,
Yeah.
looking at what's going on there, we can see that, unfortunately, there is there's the Mystical Space Typhoon, which could hit the lose 1 turn, or the Fiendish Chain.
Yeah, but well, I think we're probably going to see it used on the scout that gets searched out by Summoner's Art, because that's just a downward spiral the moment your opponent gets scout on the field and starts searching.
But there's so much search in that hand already. I mean,
yeah.
it really depends what's going to go on here.
Yeah, so he's probably searching out the scout there with that Summoner's Art. We can't quite see on the camera here, but we'll see him play it just now. I was going to play Upstart Goblin first. Okay, yeah, so if he manages to draw into a Mystical Space Typhoon right now, he's just going to play
I think that's what he's going for.
Yeah.
Let's keep looking at his hand there.
Yeah, so let's see
wait for the update.
What he got. Okay, so he's going to continue looking.
Well. He's got a Scout, a Stealth, and an Upstart Goblin in his hand there. I believe he may have just
he's continuing to dig through his deck here to try and find...
That looks like a Skill Drain, a Helix, and a Summoner's Art.
Yeah, so again, not really going to help him, but apart from that Summoner's Art, actually, of course, he's going to be able
for the Skill Drain.
I took Skill Drain.
Well, he now has 3 options to negate his opponent.
Yeah. The only issue with that is he doesn't have any other like decent-sized monsters to go anywhere. He does have 1 stealth, but as soon as that stealth's gone, he's got no other traction, really. He's going to have to rely on drawing into monsters. He does, however, have Sacrifice, so if he manages to play stealth and go ahead and play Sacrifice on it, then that's going to be a great grounding to continue here. So I think that's probably what we're going to see happen. So this scout search is going to be hit by Mystical Space Typhoon, and then we're going to go ahead and see Stealth played, and then equipped with Sacrifice, and then just all the rest of the cards are going to be set on the field.
Now, of course, what Errikos doesn't know is that he's just used that Mystical Space Typhoon on that search, but he's now not going to have it for the lose 1 turn, the Fiendish Chain, or for the Skill Drain.
Yeah.
So now, let's go back to Errikos' hand there. It looks like he's drawn into a Necros or Bryonic.
Yeah, so here we go. That's the move he's making. It's probably the best move to make. Just set all the cards on the field, play a guy, and put a Sacrifice on it.
That's generally what you see a lot of Klee doing, just waiting. It's like, please blow up my guy, I like searches.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with Sacrifice is it can get any of the Klee cards from your deck, which includes the Qliphort Scout.
And the, Qliphort Scout, Reckley 8.
Yeah, anything. Anything you want. And Scout, well, you can get Scout, and Scout can get Reckley 8, and then you're just going to sit there and generate more cards using your Scout. So, let's see what the Necros player does here to try and really push through all of these cards.
Ooh, and he's just drawn into a Fire hand, which is not... You don't want an Ice hand and a Fire hand in the same hand.
No. So we see Skill Drain being played here. This is quite interesting because he decided to play Skill Drain first. However...
And down comes the Ice hand to be able to get rid of it.
Yeah. We do, however, have a Fiendish Chain set, which could potentially stop this Ice hand from attacking into the Stealth, because that's probably what the maneuver is going to be. He's going to attack with Ice Hand, take some damage, but he's going to be able to use Ice Hand's effect.
And get a Fire hand as well, which could in turn get rid of Stealth, etc., etc., etc.
Keep going through all of those
as they usually do. I mean, he's got so many hands on the board.
So here we go.
What he's going to do, he's got an Ice hand, a Fire hand, 10,000 hands, and 1,000 hands. It's just, he's got hands everywhere.
There are literally hands everywhere.
Yeah, fantastic.
So he makes the play to Fiendish Chain that Ice Hand, and immediately we see Senju retreat with all those hands and straight into defense position. So, yeah.
Cards on the table. It's actually Ice Hand and Senju. Yeah, there we go. Ice Hand and Senju with 1,000 hands. And Stealth.
So pass his turn.
Pass his turn. Imperial Iron Wall hitting the field.
Oh, why not?
So that's a nice little, you're not going to be doing anything field.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
So yeah, he's just going to be able to flip that up during his opponent's draw phase, standby phase, and
anything, just make it so that his opponent can't now do anything.
Have we seen?
Although there isn't actually any
there's no mirrors to
ritual
use.
spell cards, so
I'm just thinking during this game we've not actually seen the Necros player ritual summon at all.
no, it's because he has nothing.
Yeah,
he can't do
there's no
anything
way
at the
to do
moment.
that. Yeah.
I mean, he's got the Branak, of course.
Yeah. So it's just there's these really powerful continuous trap cards, and that's not the end of it. Like right now, Errikos can see the skill drain, but what he can't see, which we can see on stream here,
It's lose one turn
is
and
the
an
lose one
Imperial Iron
turn.
Wall.
Yeah, and Imperial Iron Wall.
It's literally
That's three things.
all we'd need now is a mistake, and it would just be a Necros can't play cards.
Yeah,
Cards game.
pretty much. I think Straight Flush would be a fantastic card right now, but
Yeah.
not many people play it. And to be honest, Errikos has a Mystical Space Typhoon sat at the bottom of his graveyard, and there are 3 cards that he wants to remove with Mystical Space Typhoon on the field right now. So it's a game of maths right there. He doesn't have enough removal to get rid of all of these continuous trap cards.
Now that's an Ice Hand, a Fire Hand, and a Book of Moon that's just gone down. A lose one turn has just gone into Alessandro's hand, so he has the backup if his first one he's gotten rid of. Now going into Fire Hand there.
Yeah.
Now for anyone that doesn't know what Fire Hand and Ice Hand look like, that's Fire Hand, and that's Ice Hand.
Yes.
Ice Hand destroying spells, Fire Hand destroying monsters.
Yeah, and as soon as they do that, when they're destroyed,
They special summon.
Special summon the other version of that hand.
This was basically the cards that everybody hated seeing for a very long time because of how powerful and annoying they could get.
Yeah, during the hand artifact trap tricks
Yes.
era, we saw these quite a lot, and they did actually kind of go out of fashion for a little while. I think he's just put a dice on it to dictate which one of them has been special summoned.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. Well, which one? I think that's the normal summoned one. So here we see that Alessandro is going to be able to go and search with Sacrifice, and he's open to do anything he wants now. He can go and get a scout, so he can keep searching, which is that's what I do. I don't know. We'll see what he comes up with. Yeah.
Yep, there's the scout. Scout go search. There is a Book of Moon on Errikos' field. It's
That's not going to do much.
no, not massive amounts at the moment. It is going to, well, I suppose
There's a
he doesn't
completely
really
different
wanna
book he's going to need to
Yeah.
fix this. So Scout's going to probably go and complete the pendulum scale with a monolith, or he may just go and search for a carrier or a helix. I'm unsure what he'd want to do here. I'd probably go with the monolith, so then he can pendulum summon all of those monsters that he has in his extra deck face up.
And with skill drain being there, they would all be on full attack as well.
Yeah. So actually, he did go and get a carrier. So I do wonder where monolith is, but he may have side decked it out. So here we see the 2 monsters special summoned. I'm
in defense position to make sure that the Ice Hands can't just run into them and
and then
wreck
use
the
their
field.
effects.
Yeah. So that's a Manju of 10,000 hands in hand, a reinforcement of the army, and he's going to overlay there.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
think-
Into an Exciton Knight that doesn't can't
but
have an effect except with a Book of Moon.
yeah, exactly that. So this is really interesting now because there's absolutely nothing the Qliphort player can do about this.
Because he can activate his effect.
Yeah.
Skill drain just says that it just negates the
actually,
effects of
there's-
face-up cards.
I believe, looking at the cards they have, he has absolutely nothing to stop this Exciton Knight
Not
at all.
No.
Well, the Exciton Knight Book of Moon play, I mean, there's nothing to stop it. Absolutely nothing to stop it. Because, yeah, he's going to detach it, and Alessandro's probably thinking, wow, this is strange. Why is he making this play when there's nothing
Oh
to be done?
my.
Oh my, exactly.
Yes.
Oh my. And he's going to lose all his cards now, Rob.
He is going to lose all of his cards. He does, however, still have a lose one turn in his hand, so it's just put him back in this position that he was in. He's not in a great position.
Yeah. Unfortunately, lose one turn is not a monster and can't hit your opponent and take any of their life points
Can
away.
he chain here?
There's nothing.
Nothing
There's
at
nothing.
all.
There's no move that
that's the
that
flip.
stops this. Yeah,
And
so
I
he's
do
just gonna-
believe it still doesn't destroy the Exciton for anybody that was wondering, simply because it says destroy every other card on the field.
Yeah, that's correct. Any card that says destroy all other cards knows that it's not to destroy itself.
Yeah. Now he can start doing his searches here. So here comes the Manju of 10,000 hands down.
Yeah.
He also has a Bryanek and a reinforcements of the army, so he is fully ready to not have to hand his opponents his deck anytime soon.
Yeah, so bear in mind, though, Exciton Knight's effect is that he
can't
can't
take
inflict any battle damage.
You're correct.
Any damage, yeah, sorry. So if he could, he would be able to win right now, because, again, as we saw, the Qliphort player has been paying a lot of life points for all of these different costs that he's been incurring with Scout.
But this is pretty much the turnaround, simply because all of those special summon monsters are going to come down
With
already. Lose one turn isn't going to do anything after this. So it looks like Errikos has well and truly got this game in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very interesting play here. He's just going to be able to do the standard Necros play, which is to send the Herald of the Acolyte to the graveyard for the Necros Kaleidoscope, summoning the Unicorn, and he's going to go and search with Herald of the Acolyte, and then immediately he's going to make an Exceed play, and here he chooses to go with Daigusto Emerald, which is fantastic. You know, while you're ahead, get more ahead. That's how you should play when you're this far ahead.
Draw some cards.
There's no reason
Get some
not
cards.
to. There's no reason not to play like this. He could make some crazy Exceed, but there's no need. Daigusto Emerald, very, very basic Exceed monster. Allows you to target 3 of your monsters in the graveyard, shuffle them back into your deck, and then draw a card.
It's like a mini pot of avarice.
It's like a little bit of a pot of avarice.
Just a tiny one.
Except
it's got an attack.
Just a diddy one, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So it's not that diddy, because he's got wings and he can attack.
Yeah, and he's green, which is the same as Pot of Duality,
Yeah.
and the same as Pot of Avarice.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's see what he can do. So he sets both of those trap cards and then plays them. But none of those are going to affect Daigusto Emerald right now.
No. And it's an Imperial Iron Wall and to lose one turn. So basically what he's saying is you're not going to really be doing any effects and you can't go and search for your stuff. But that doesn't really matter, just simply because...
So he's actually got a game here.
Yeah, he can put a big monster on the board. And
No, he's not.
that's pretty much it.
He's got 51 right now. This is 51. He needs
1800.
a bit more.
And it's the Exciton that's face down.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not quite got it there.
Sure, it's 51. Yeah. Yeah, 51. So we'll have to see whether he can sneak out this last bit of damage. But to be honest, putting him down to 5,100 life points, taking 1,500 life points away means that he has less than 800 life points left, so he can't pay for Scout. So the best card he could possibly top deck right now is not the best because
he can't pay for it.
He can't pay for it. That's usually going to be one of the best cards to top deck. Gungnir in defense mode. Oh, okay, yeah, he just has so many resources to be able to do this now. So yeah, even if that card is an amazing card, he can still use Gungnir's effect, which allows you to discard a Nekroz card and destroy one of your opponent's cards during either player's turn. So it's a quick effect. You can just use it anytime during either player's turn.
So he's just making an absolutely massive play, and he knows he's won here. Alessandro, unfortunately, just kind of sitting there looking at that massive field that's been amassed.
Yeah.
Mr. Space Typhooning his own Imperial Iron Wall to say good game. Yeah, that's it's always, I always find it's kind of a shame when you get 2-0'd.
Yeah.
Just absolutely, completely destroyed.
Yeah, on the feature match table.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
really sad.
I've only ever been feature matched once, and I felt bad for 2-0ing the person that I was playing against. It's just...
Yeah, my local tournament has a live stream sometimes, and I remember the first time I got feature matched on there, I played against Chainburn, and I sat there and had a sad time.
Oh. But absolutely fantastic game that's just happened as well. They're just having a quick discussion over on the table there, and then hopefully we will be back at some point very soon for an interview with the winner there, with Errikos. But
Errikos was actually his national champion as well, if I remember correctly.
is that correct?
Yeah,
oh,
we saw him yesterday.
Yes, we did see him yesterday when we were doing the interviews with the national champions, and he did say that he was going to be playing Necros then as well.
Yeah.
He won with Necros. He's going to carry on playing Necros.
Yeah.
Now, looking at that, I mean, was there any particular plays that you thought, wow, that's...
I think just it was quite a basic play, but being able to identify the fact, well, I can just play Exciton Knight here and win the game because I get to destroy all your cards.
Yeah.
Some people might have overlooked that because it was quite a complex game state at that point. You know, that was just, you know, kept us calm and made the right play. That's all really.
I mean, Exciton under a Book of Moon or a Book of Eclipse is basically the way to get around Qliphort.
Very strong.
Yeah, because Qliphort like to just spam the field with as many cards as possible,
Yeah.
and they're always vulnerable to that Exciton Knight.
Yeah, exactly. And it just, that was it really. That was just a very, very basic play that he managed to identify and execute at the perfect time.
Yep. So, I mean, going into the game, did you think that the Necros player definitely?
I think I did think that he had a better chance overall with this decklist here than Eugen's decklist against a Qliphort player. So I did think that he probably had a much better chance overall in the first game anyway, because his side deck was still reasonably similar. He just wasn't playing Royal Decree. So yeah, I think he had a good chance. I think he had a good chance, and he's obviously come out on top.
Definitely. So that was round 3. Absolutely fantastic game there. We're going to be back very shortly for an interview with the winner, and we'll see you very soon.